Yeah, that's it. You got it. Okay. Way to go. Any other questions then? We'll move along. It's just a matter of practice to get it right.
When you give food for adult, can you feed or not?
When you give
food for adult,
for a dog,
adult, not dog, not animal, adult. Adult. Can you feed or not?
oh yeah.
You can you feed.
What is this word? What is this word? What is this word? How do you pronounce it?
Adult.
Adult. Alt.
Adult.
Adult. Adult. Adult. You can feed a dog. You can feed a cat. And you can also feed a child. Therefore, can you feed an adult?
Adult.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. You can feed an adult. If you can feed another human being, you can feed an adult. But it usually doesn't mean that you go over like a little baby and feed and feed and feed. If you were the father of a family of 3 children and a wife, you can say, I work every day so that I can feed my family. That doesn't mean that I stay no, I get the food and they eat the food. But in a sense, you can feed an adult if the adult is unable to feed themselves because they are sick or something's wrong that they can't do, then yes, you can feed. But what it means here usually is that you provide the food and the adult eats the food. And if you pay for the food and give the person the food, you are in a sense feeding that person, even though you're not there with the fork, boop, boop, boop. You're feeding the family, adults, children, whatever. So, but you can also feed an adult that is unable to feed him or herself. So it's the sense of feeding an adult. In one sense, yes, you can do, because the adult is unable to feed himself or herself. Or you can feed the adult by providing the food. Here's the food, enjoy the dinner. Providing. That is the V sound. Providing. No. Providing. That's the hardest thing to do for people here, is the V sound. What is this word? Exactly. Fever. To have a fever. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not so well. Oh, what's the matter? I have a fever. Fever. Notice, for the first part of the word, my teeth touch my upper lip. Fever. Right. This is why these words are tricky for some people. The F sound, F, and then the V. Fever, fever, fever. I have a fever. My temperature is 103 degrees. Oh, you better go home and take it easy. Lie down. Sounds like you have a fever. Fever. All part of the same sound of the fees, the freeze. Oh, freeze, yeah, freeze is another word. Any other questions about adult? Alt. Adult. Alt. Yeah. Alt. It comes from down here. Adult.
Very difficult.
Oh, adult, very easy. No problem. Very simple. Adult. Alt. The ultimate.
ภาษาเขาบอก24ก็ภาษาเรายาก
How many people in your group? Oh, we have 5 people in the group. 3 adults and 2 children. 3 adults and 2 children. Adults. Alt. Adult. Any other questions about these words? Pronunciation of them? Meaning?
I have a son and daughter. What do you call? I have 2 children. Or I have what?
How old are they?
Oh, it's more than 30 years.
How old?
30 years.
30. And how old's the other one? How old is it? You said 2 children.
Oh,
What?
33.
33 and 30.
My only children, I have 2 children. I have 2.
Well, in a conversation, you're talking to somebody you just met maybe, or somebody in a conversation, you say, oh, I see. How long have you lived here? Oh, I've lived here 25 years or 30 years. I moved from the United States and came out here. Oh, do you have a family? Yes, I have my wife and 2 children. Now, that's what in a conversation. Now, but when you say 2 children, you say, and how old are your children? 30 and 33. Well, when you're talking to somebody in conversation, 2 children. 2 children. You know, I have a son, I have a child. He's 38 or whatever. So I have a child. But he's not a child officially. I mean, he's not 6 years old. So you would, in conversation with people, and you're asked, do you have children? Oh yes, I have 2. And then a different situation would be if you were buying a ticket at the movies, and you said, I'll have 1 adult and 2 children. and you look back and they're standing there, they're taller than you. And the lady at the counter says, oh, sorry, you have to be under 18 to be a child. Over 18, an adult. So, oh, okay, sorry, 3 adults. Oh, that'll be an extra 400 baht, okay. So, in that case, you have adults. My children are adults, but I have 2 children. You get the idea?
My children have 2 เราก็บอกว่ามีผู้ใหญ่2 คนเป็นลูก
ไม่ใช่หมายถึงว่าเวลาเปรียบสนทนาพูดถึงลูกเราอ่ะจะใช้ชิลเล่นแต่เวลาเราไปตีตัวเราลูกอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแล้วเราจะบอกว่าเราชิลเล่นไม่ได้พูดว่า
You have 2 children and they happen to be adults. But when you're in a conversation with somebody, just talking about family and this and that,
I have 2 children, but 2
you don't even have to say that. If somebody's saying, do you have any children? Oh, yes, I have two. One's living in New York and the other lives in Singapore. You don't have to say, but they're really not children, they're adults. No, you don't have to explain that. People know what you're talking about. You know, you'd have to, oh, but my children are not really children. They're not children. What are they? Oh, they're adults. Oh, no, no.
May I have asked another question? My son told me I should call you Mr. James, not Teacher James. What is the correct?
Either one.
Either one can.
Yeah, Teacher James, or right there, or or James. You don't have to call me Mr. James.
My son told me, you should call your teacher Mr. James, not Teacher James. I said, why? I prefer to call Teacher James.
It's all right. I'm not going to get upset.
And I wonder, I went to Australia, Sydney. I saw a board. The walk 1 or walk 2 or walk 3, why don't they use Pier 1, Pier 2, Pier 3?
Oh, they had,
WSARF ทำไมเขาใช้ตัวนี้ว่า
wharf, or
Pier. Why they use the walk, don't use Pier?
same idea. A wharf, a pier.
เห็นไหมว่าเขาใส่
Most places you would see the word